Last week, there was a viral video on TikTok that really spread around like fire, and it was uploaded from a young lady that was at a Dallas-Fort Worth mixer. And according to her, only women showed up. Now, just like anybody in our kind of manosphere community, I made a video that was very similar to what we've heard in the past, that many mixers in the country had no men showing up. And this seemed as if this was another case of that story. It's been happening specifically in the Black mixer community for the last 10 years. However, our good buddy and colleague, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, proved that these claims were indeed false. He had further evidence showing what really happened, and I would like to let him talk about it in his own words on the video.
All right, went to a singles mixer and only women showed up, okay? So you can see she pans over, it's only ladies there, all right? So this is another perspective that actually comes from one of the dudes that attended the event.
Plenty of men showed up for the—
Copyright again, all right? Plenty of men showed up for this event. It's sad when you have to sell your soul for likes and views. Look at all the dudes that's at the event. All right? Look at all the dudes that's at the event. Right? They had a fantastic turnout. All right? Beautiful women still there. I will say some of the women that's present in this one makes me want to figure out what city that this is in. Because, you know, they got to look at it. We got all races that's down into the building as well. Okay? You guys have to be very cognizant when you on these internet streets to be careful of not only the information that you are receiving, but who you are receiving the information from. Because at the end of the day, validation is a hell of a drug. All right? Crazy. Look at it. All races. And truth be told, you know how I knew it was just a little bit of cap? Because really, irrespective of all of the content that gets released over here or of what the things that modern men today are going through with modern women, you have a singles event, right? You got a singles event with women. Most dudes are gonna say, bump all that other shit. I wanna go see what's up. I wanna go try my hand. You understand what I'm saying? So that's, I know, was a little bit of degree of cap. But yeah, take this for what you will.
So you've heard what he had to say. In fact, even me, I was noticing, I was getting alerted that people had the real information and that mine was not updated. Like, for example, this person goes, that mixer was fake, men showed up, you should verify stories instead of looking for clips, lame ass boy. And you even had this other guy, O'Shea, you jumped the gun on this video. Plenty of men showed up to the mixer eventually, and everyone had a ball. Please do your homework first before you jump the gun and make your videos next time. Thanks, bro. Give you guys a round of applause for the criticism, and I'll accept that. It was a bad video. But see, why was it a bad video? And I won't even say it was a bad video because it got over 90,000 views and I'm gonna make a lot more money off of this video also. But here's some things that we're not talking about. I wanna look at this last comment. The guy says, O'Shea, you jumped the gun on this video. Plenty of men showed up to the mixer eventually. That's one thing I want to talk about, the word eventually. You see, I remember when it was time to go to the club back in the days. Girls are going to be there. Listen, brothers is coming there on time. On time. But if men are showing up eventually, well, what does that mean? Eventually. That means that, well, I'm not really tripping off meeting those ladies right now. I'll see them when I see them. Because in times past, listen, guys will be there on time. Remember, they're free to get into the club before 11 or stuff like that. Ladies' night, and guys will be just sitting out there outside waiting on them. Yeah, you would see guys doing that because dudes are typically more thirsty. It's typically more difficult to get women. Sex is something that's typically harder for men to get. So men tend to go the extra mile to be there. But we didn't see that in this case. We didn't see the men catalyzed are, very energized about being there at the same time as those women who were there, and there were no men there. Now, it could be true that when she arrived, it wasn't any guys there. Had she come later, and we know that happens. But the fact that the men understood when it was, and they showed up later, that indicates to me a lack of interest. Secondarily, why don't you guys have a problem with women posting misinformation? See, the attacks come to me or other guys in the manosphere community for posting this. You have a problem with us, but you don't have a problem with the person who posted it, because it wasn't like she said something and just commented on it. What did she do? Quasi will play it in the background. She posted a video of where she was in her surroundings, showing that no men were there. So how can you talk about somebody's experience when they're showing you video footage of what's happening right then and there? That's exactly what we did. We looked at her video footage. Guys are saying, well, you need to go back and look and verify your sources. And it tends to be a bad video in the case that it didn't represent everything, but it was a fact at the time that she was there. When she posted that video, that was a fact. But facts can change. You see, like at one point, it was a fact that the Golden State Warriors was the NBA champions in 2015. But when 2020 came, that was not a fact then. The champion was somebody else. Exactly, right? So the same thing, when she was there at that time, it was a fact that no men were there. But the fact changed when men showed up. See, the thing is, who is trying to sabotage the event? And that's what guys are not looking at. It's other women. Why? Because she wanted to make it out, hi, you girls, nobody wants you. Look at this. And who did it? It was another woman. It wasn't us. See, the manosphere didn't show up, or the red pill community didn't show up to the event and started making these false claims. Another woman did it. So who is trying to sabotage the events of mixers? It isn't men. It's other women. So who doesn't want who to be happy? See, we only comment on what happens. We don't sabotage it. See, you guys have all the smoke in the world for the wrong people, while the culprits are getting away. Are you upset because this particular mixer ended up being somewhat successful? Or are you upset that most mixers are not successful? Or are you really upset that the numbers are for dating and marriages in the black community, they are crumbling toward all-time lows? Is that what you're mad about? Because we can talk about that. Because despite this mixer being somewhat of a success, and it was more intercultural as well as interracial than we would have expected, the reality is this: most of those chicks are not going to get married to anybody at that goddamn mixer. I know it, you know it. So you can have all the smoke for me, but it doesn't change what the reality is. The decisions have already been made. And you can be mad at me, but it's not my fault. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back with a classic video, Quasi on the edits, and we're out.